good morning everybody. Well, it's morning where I am. I'm Diane from Yoga for All Training, and from Diane Bondi Yoga and Yoga Staya are my online yoga studio. And I'm answering some questions that came in from when I was at the Accessible Yoga Conference in Santa Barbara. So a couple people asked me some questions that I wanted to get a little video out to you. And the first one was about doing inversions. So I've done this tutorial before, and you can also see it on my other videos on YouTube, but it's an upside down supported inversion, and I did do this at the workshop that we did do in Santa Barbara. What you will need for this is 3 blocks, and I'm going to show you a couple of ways to do this. I have been practicing inversions and headstands for 8 years. So know that this was a process for me. None of this happened overnight, and I've come up with some ideas and strategies for doing a couple different inversions. So I've had a request for a plow pose inversion, and I've had a request for the block inversion, just like a review. So this is a review video for this. You'll notice I have 3 blocks. I'm a big fan of cork blocks as a person who practices yoga in a larger body. I find the cork blocks are way more stable, and also I like them because they have a textured surface so that they stick to your mat and they hug to the wall. I find wooden blocks that are smooth and varnished, I don't find them very safe. I find them slippy, especially on hard surfaces. So I'm going to show you 2 ways to get upside down, possibly 3 ways if you don't want to use the blocks at all. So the blocks are for support. Out of my 3 cork blocks, this one's the thinner one. So I'm going to use that as my support block. I'm putting it with the highest edge up, and I'm bringing it about a block away, a block length away from the wall. I'm going to take my thicker block and I'm going to butt it up right against the edge of the block. So if you can see it from the side angle, you'll notice that this side is flush and there's space behind. Then I'm going to go ahead and line that up against the wall and make sure it's flush and stable. So I just finished a chakra series, and the last chakra we worked on in the series was the crown chakra, and this was a pose that I used to help people stimulate that and connect with that. So what you do next is come on to your forearms, and your forearms are, your elbows are underneath your shoulders, and you wrap your fingertips around the base of the block, okay? So I'm holding this block here. When I place my back and my head at the base of this block, I will then pull the block back toward my body. So first I'm on my hands and knees, I come up, I'm holding the block and I'm gently pulling the block back. So this is an inversion. You need to go no further than this, right? Our head is below our heart. I've got weight mostly in my forearms, and I have a tiny bit of weight on my head, just as a placement, but I'm not pushing down into my head. Because I'm on my forearms, I'm pushing down, I don't know if you can see that, because I'm on my forearms, I'm able to kick up if I like because there's no weight on my head. And then as you get stronger, you can pull your feet away from the wall. Now I'm gripping that bottom block very strongly, and if you see me bouncing up and down, it's because I'm pushing into my forearms and there's virtually no weight on my head at all. There's just a little bit of weight for placement, and I'm pushing down through the roof of my mouth, although I'm not pushing into the floor. So when I'm ready to come down, there's 1 of 2 ways. I can either bend my knees, bring my legs to the wall, and then just come 1 knee at a time into the chest. If you want to work with getting stronger in the core, you can also bring your knees into your chest and hang up, and then just slowly come down. So that's one way you can experience an inversion such as headstand without having a lot of weight in your head for those of you who have cervical spine issues. I've had a lot of success with this. I have a group of senior ladies that I work with who are all in their 60s, 70s, and 60s and late 70s, and we've started working with this, and they've been really successful with it in terms of strengthening their shoulders, opening their chest, getting the benefits of an inversion, which is also very good for your thyroid, which as we move into later life, we can sometimes have problems with. Another way I get up through headless headstand, and this feels a little scary, so I always recommend that you don't do these poses until you're like you know, maybe with a qualified teacher, or you're at home with somebody that can help you out, okay? So the next one I'm gonna do is called a headless headstand. I usually strap my elbows. I'm not gonna strap them today because I'm very much working at keeping my elbows from splaying out, and I wanna see how well I do. So I'm pushing down into my forearms, and then I'm tipping my thumbs back toward my nose, and I'm making a really solid base here. So pushing down through my elbows, elbows are underneath my shoulders, I lift up. Okay, so this is your dolphin pose. You need to go no further. If this is working for you, stay here. If you're feeling adventurous, you can start to walk your feet in and then kick up if that feels good. You see my head is not on the floor, my hair is touching my hands, but I'm in no way on my head. I'm pushing into my shoulders. And then when I get comfortable, I can certainly play with taking my legs away from the wall. And then you can come down. So a few ways of going upside down, and to know that you don't have to be afraid to go upside down in a bigger body. You just need to make sure that you have the right props available and you are safe and you take your time. If you want to work with a teacher, I would approach your teacher, your local yoga studio, or your local yoga teacher. Or if you're interested in learning more, you can join us at yogaforalltraining.com. If you're a yoga teacher, or even if you're a student and you just want to know how to work with a bigger body, this is a training that you're not going to get in your 200 hours. It just doesn't happen. We don't talk about bodies, we don't talk about body image, we don't talk about body size. We don't talk about those things in yoga teacher training. So this training is the first of its kind that allows us to dig deeper into differently abled bodies within your yoga practice. So anyway, thank you for joining me here. If you like this video, please comment, like, and share everywhere. My philosophy is yoga for one means yoga for all. So we have to figure this out together, and it is my absolute pleasure to have spent this time with you today. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and I'll see you in the next video. Namaste.